Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Hoosier State and Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. On 1st and 10, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 30, 10, touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Yo, staying open. Zoom. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
On play action, Brissett. Rodgers brings it in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Zip it. Go. Hey, watch that.
On the ground, it's Mack. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense.
Don't want it. Keep playing the whole 60 on. Woo! Let's get it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Mario Addison racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Out of the gun, Newton. Complete to right. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
First down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. Cam's going to run the option right. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt.
Ready?
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And after the punt, they have a long way to go if they want to tie this football game.
And when you say a long way to go, you mean the full 99 yards backed up almost as far as you can be. They also have to be aware that the defense is going to come after them. A lot of defense will blitz and attack in this situation, hoping to cause a little bit of havoc.
Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
Second and 10 at the 1-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
You got nothing to run. You got nothing.
Out of his end zone, Brissett under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the Colts 35-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Throwing is Newton. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 13-yard line.
Yeah, Greg Olsen's back for his 13th NFL season. The last 9 have been in a Panthers uniform. Only 9 games for him a year ago, 7 the season before due to injuries. But when healthy, a 1,000-yard receiver in 2014, 15, and 16.
From the red zone now, Newton. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jarius Wright that time, but it's going to be second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Cam Newton now with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
16, Colts, nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Wide, get wide. 22, jet, cover. 22, jet, cover. Check 4. Out. Cover.
Here's Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
54. We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. I'm coming.
Brissett. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. But now it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, it's Brissett. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ross Cockrell.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 38-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Running with a fullback, Alex Arma. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man. And he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though. But I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And Thomas has it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Let's go, baby. Kill.
Now Cam, option left. Bulldozes past him. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
That's it. 180.
In your face.
Now Newton on 1st down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this 1st half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Brissett. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Bissett. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. It's the Patriots with the early lead over the Bills. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one.
Ready? Get set, ready?
58, come on. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Wright's got it. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. We often with Cam Newton talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Newton to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
That one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on second and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. Ebron's got it. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Ready.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Third and short yardage, Brissett. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Brian Burns in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, Newton. Sideline throw, that's caught by Moore. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check 13. Check.
Now a run with McCaffrey. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Let's keep moving.
Now Scarlett. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Go. Go.
Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Gano's kick is right through. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Brissett. And that's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. Second down now.
Darius Leonard on the tackle. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
X3, 218, chopper. Let's go.
Now it's the backup Greer. And this one's incomplete. The wideout Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Ready?
Throwing on 3rd down, Greer. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
And a Panther first down.
Ready?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I'm coming.
Get it.
Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
51.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Here's Greer now on 2nd down. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
Yeah, I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, here's Greer. Hard throw, incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
I'm here all day.
To throw, Brissett. He's got a first down past the 30. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Brissett looking middle, and it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Ready. Hey, 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
On first down, it's Greer. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Scarlett. He finds an opening past the 40. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. A big play there for Carolina. 47 yards on the ground. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
What you got, Heavy?
Greer on first down. And that is incomplete. Ray McLeod, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
60 Pittsburgh.
Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Hey, Alpha.
After the run, Greer going to throw. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Greer now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Greer. Got an open man. It's McLeod. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
On the double.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Here we go again.
Ready?
This is Scarlett on the carry. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
It's coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
Get it.
On 2nd and 7, Greer. Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
They go right back to Mack. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, 94 yards. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. AP Gator.
All day, every day, any day.
Hit it.
They turn to Scarlett again. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Able to complete this one to McLeod. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Colts' 30-yard line.
You ready?
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Big grip.
Guerrero look to throw on 2nd down. He gets it to Thomas. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Ready.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The former Bill, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Here we go. 15 line.
Here we go.
On the handoff, it's Scarlett. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now a give here to Scarlett. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Jordan Scarlett with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Brissett sets to throw it. Funches has it complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
At the Panthers' 46-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Brissett. Catch made here by Campbell. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Brissett now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll go again here with Mack. And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Here's Brissett. Ebron caught left side. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, it's Mack. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here we go. Henry, check 56. Watch a slap. Watch a slap. Watch a slap.
They'll run with Mack. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They run with Hines. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Carolina, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.